I will present only very few projects, 7 projects, and I begin with a project which is not really a project by Herzog, but the project where I have been asked by the mayor of Milano, Mrs. Moratti, to join a little group which would develop alternative master plan for the World Exhibition in the year 2015. Portavolta is also in Milano, is a project for Feltrinelli, the famous editions, is an area which has a long history, which is a former bastion, a former wall ring around the city, till we did this model, which is a kind of a twin office or twin building, twin volumes, which we somehow liked, especially because also these 2 existing pavilions are like a model or like a model of inspiration. I show this building because it's very, very beautiful building in the Lombardia area, and a building that in its character is typical for what Rossi loved so much and which inspired him to do his very serial buildings which are inspired by repetition and a few exceptions. In a similar way, a project that is using structure as a main element is the garage that we have been building in Miami. And literally it is a garage, but a special garage, because it contains other programs, which makes it certainly a very new type of project. The project is in Miami, in Lincoln Road, which is here, Miami Beach. Lincoln Road is a kind of open-air shopping mall, is here. Is a new project for Sao Paulo in Brazil, our first project in Brazil, which is a very large new cultural center for dance and music. It contains music school, dance school, music and dance theaters, etc., etc. But more than anything else, we tried to first understand what we could do to make that building something for more than just those who would visit the school, but to make it like a public sculpture. Again, like in Miami, we were extremely impressed by the beauty of the landscape. In the center of this presentation, I put the Caixa, because you know that building, and it's certainly a model for, let's say, a space that has transformed a part of the city that was not there before. It was physically there, but it was not there as a place to meet. And how thinking is behind that. Also, I would call this not in the same way a structural approach, but it is something that is much more using the moment of figuration. To start with, of course, the existing building. Nevertheless, it was, and it is, an interesting existing structure, very much old Madrid with a specific type of ladrillo, the kind of special brick that we liked very much. But unfortunately, the program did not fit in the given structure. And also the spaces could not use directly. So we had to do something. The program was almost double or more of the volume. So we had to put something underground and above ground. Nevertheless, the building was listed, so we had to keep it, or we had to respect it. And we wanted also to do this, because the building has, as I said, very strong potential, very strong quality, and has especially the potential or the beauty of architecture. The Tate is where we have learned to operate, to destroy in order to create something new or different. The Turbine Hall was an amazing given space. That's the boiler house next to it, and we loved it, and we understood that it would be great to even reinforce it. So we dug out the ground, because the existing level of the turbine hall was here. So we said we dug out everything so that you go into the building and then you discover the building in front of you from the lowest possible point. to then open up a space that has proved to work. And that is the, let's say, the miracle, because we were totally unexperienced in doing such a big building when we first could do this, and it was quite daring for us. First, Vitra. We have been contacted by Fehlbaum, Rolf Fehlbaum, who is certainly one of the greatest dueños, or the greatest clients you could find, and we have been asked to do a home for the home collection of Vitra, not the office collection of Vitra. So the building is meant to be a mixture of a museum and a showroom. A museum in the sense that it could, in the case of a large show, work together with the Vitra Design Museum designed by Frank Gehry, or to work as an independent kind of a gatehouse for the visitors. Now, the last project I show today is the Schaulager, that is a bit older, but is on the southern periphery. And I think it's a very interesting example also for how we have been working in a special condition. When we dug out the ground for the building site, we discovered this amazing earth that is basically gravel, that is coming from the Rhine Valley, the Rhine River, and we wanted to do the whole building in a kind of an earth, like in Yemen, using that gravel. That was then studied further, and we slightly had to step away, and we did it in a concrete that is using that gravel, so that we literally used and materially added cement and made the building out of this.